Today I wanted to talk to you about the everyday mundane violence of pavement. Now hang with me a second. Think about this. Everywhere you see pavement, there was once a thriving native ecosystem. There was plants and animals and people that lived together for thousands of years. Here in San Diego, for no less than 12,000 years, the Kumeyaay people have lived here, and everything they ever possibly needed, food, shelter, medicine, water, clean air, were all provided by the plants and animals around them. And they lived and were able to sustain themselves for the past 12,000 years at least. It's an incredible amount of time. It's almost unfathomable to modern people to think about that length of time. And in just the last few hundred years since colonization, we have gone about destroying that. And I think pavement is a really great example of this. Think about the time, energy, and resources that are required to lay down pavement. And what that pavement does is to smother life and to keep life from returning and to keep this path clear so that we can drive our cars and move capital around and get to work and whatever we do. And what was once there was life, was the things that provide us with everything we could possibly need. And I just think it speaks to the values of colonization, the values of capitalism, the values of modern Western life, that we choose pavement over plants, that we choose no life over life. And in so many ways, the ways we live are completely anti-life, and I think that is a great expression of it. Think about the war that is waged on weeds, on the plants growing through the pavement, and the amount of resources every year, billions of dollars spent to try and keep plants from existing where they've always existed. And think about the absurdity that we're doing this, that these plants are not enemies of us. They provide us freely with food, medicine, and shelter, and we are hostile to them to that degree. So as you walk about today, look around and you'll see plants growing through that pavement, because the reality is the second force is not applied, the second we stop repaving and just leave it be, life will return. Life is already returning all the time. And I just think that's a profound image to see the plants growing through the pavement. And you are life, and I am life, and the plants and animals around us are life, and we are all relatives. And I love how defiant the plants are. I love how much they are unwilling to follow the rules, and they just grow where they can, and they grow where they will, because this is their place. And this land belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to the pavement, and it doesn't belong to any system of power. It is a shared place, a place of co-creation between every living being that has been evolving here for the exact same amount of time. For billions of years together, we've relied on each other in mutual aid to sustain and live here. So, as you walk about today, I know this is probably challenging to many of you to think about pavement as a violent force, but it fundamentally is, because it is trying to suppress the existence of life which we depend on for everything. And the way we are living is very simply killing the entire planet. It is killing biodiversity. It is threatening the existence of all life. And we need to change. And I think it's a good reminder of how far we have fallen astray and how much we need to look to the indigenous people who have lived in the places where we live for guidance and how to move forward and how to return to living with the plants and animals that can give us everything we need, with the plants and animals that have existed here for tens of thousands of years, and how we return to good relationship with them so that we can move forward in a better way. Because colonization never stopped. It wasn't an event of the past. It is an ongoing process, and the pavement is a perfect example of that. So just a little bit to chew on today, to think about as you walk around the world, to maybe just shift the way you think about the way we live and the everyday violences that occur because of the way we live.